Hi, everyone, and welcome. I am so glad to be here with you all. Thank you so much for joining me at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday evening. Usually, this presentation is done for healthcare professionals. So the fact that we're here today doing it for parents, I think is revolutionary. And this is actually because so many parents are asking us this question. So, how to diagnose cow's milk allergy in your baby fast for parents with an unsettled baby who wants answers now? Let's dive in. So I'm going to be using baby Liam as an example through this masterclass tonight. Do you want to find out how Liam went from this to this? Well, stay tuned because I'll show you exactly what we did. So you are in the right place if your baby has symptoms. Your baby is showing signs and symptoms that may suggest they have an allergy to cow's milk protein. You feel unsupported, you see numerous professionals, and yet your baby is still unsettled. You might also be feeling anxious and stressed out, and you're struggling because no one's listening and you just want answers. If that's you, then you are in the right place. You are not in the right place if your baby has an IgE allergy. So that's an immediate type allergy. And if your baby already has a diagnosis. But if your baby has got a diagnosis and they're still unsettled, which I can see some of you who logged in, I know you, and I know that your babies are still unsettled, then this masterclass is definitely for you. By the end of this class, I promise you that you'll understand key steps required when diagnosing cow's milk protein allergy in your baby. So before we start, I urge you to shut off distractions, be here now with me, and let's focus together. I'm just shutting off my phone as well to make sure I get no distractions. So what we're going to cover today is the top 3 traps keeping your baby unsettled and how to fix them, how to tell if your baby has a milk allergy, whether that's a breastfed baby or a formula-fed baby, the fastest way to get a diagnosis and help your baby feel better, our 3P framework, and we'll discuss the Settle Baby Plan as well. And then we've got live Q&A. There should be a live Q&A box somewhere, so you can even start putting in your questions as we go. Make sure you stay to the end. We've got this must-have nutrition checklist for a child with cow's milk protein allergy. It's so comprehensive, so you don't want to miss this. So make sure you stay tuned to the end. A little bit about me. I have been a dietitian for so long. I think I graduated in 2011. I am just so in love with my profession. I graduated from University of Surrey. And then since then, I've also done a master's in advanced pediatrics. And I have done so much work across the world, including the developing world. And a pediatric dietitian, I've been a pediatric dietitian since 2012, 13. And I've worked in various professions such as food allergy, eating disorders, including ARFID, and also just the standard pediatric disorders that you will see, like children who are picky eaters, have iron deficiency anemia, children who are NG fed, meaning they're tube fed. So a range of clinical conditions I've seen, and I absolutely love it. My passion, though, has always been cow's milk protein allergy. And I founded Nishti's Choice in 2017 and have talked extensively about cow's milk allergies since then. So enough about me. For anyone who wants to know more, you can check me out on LinkedIn just to check all my credentials. But I really want to make this masterclass about you because I speak to parents like you every day who are struggling, and I know that this masterclass is going to help you. So just imagine with me for a moment that you wake up, you're a first-time mom. You get up and your baby is symptom-free. They don't have eczema everywhere. They don't have reflux. They're not vomiting. They don't have a rash that comes and goes. They don't have constipation. They don't have loose stools. You wake up and you have a settled baby who, whether you're breastfed or formula fed, is just settled. And yes, babies cry, but they're not struggling with all these symptoms that I just mentioned. And you are actually able to enjoy being a parent. Just imagine that for just a moment, because I know for many of you, that is probably and has not been the case. So I wonder, and I would love to hear from you all. Please put your comments in the chat box and I'll check them later. What roadblocks have you faced so far with your little one? I'm curious. I think up until now, I have heard the most horrendous things, like the newborn stage was robbed of me. I haven't enjoyed being a first-time parent. I feel frustrated. I feel stressed. No one's listening to me. And I'm being made into feel that it's me who's the problem. I don't know if anyone of you can relate to that as well, but please let me know what you're struggling with, because I would love to hear from you. The thing is, it doesn't have to be like that. And the whole point of this masterclass is to show you that it doesn't have to be so difficult. The journey that you are on or have been on, you might have come across these top 3 traps that have been keeping you stuck. So I will go through them one by one and let me know in the comments if you can relate to any of these. Trap number 1, going around in circles with the wrong advice. So you keep going back to the same person who couldn't help you in the first place. Now, this is not your fault. You obviously want to settle your baby. But the thing is, what we tend to see is that parents go back to the same person who in fact showed them that they can't help. Maybe they've changed your baby's formula up to 5 times now. Maybe you're breastfeeding your baby and they've told you, oh, it's not your breast milk. It can't be. Nothing, no food allergen is transferred from breast milk to baby, or something completely else that just doesn't make sense. So if that's you, I just want to let you know that you're definitely not alone. Now, there are potential consequences, okay, for a late diagnosis. And unfortunately, statistics show that it takes 3.6 months for a baby to get diagnosed with cow's milk allergy. 3.6 months, which is horrendous. Now, the consequences for that, and for you going around in circles, will be nutritional deficiencies in your child, poor growth, but also feeding difficulties, because your baby will associate drinking milk with pain. And unfortunately, I don't know if any of you know what ARFID is, for instance. It's a type of eating disorder. We see lots of children with this ARFID is called. We see these children, and when we go back into history, we can actually track that they had an undiagnosed allergy early on in life that was never picked up upon. So it's very important to always make sure that your baby is settled and doesn't associate eating or drinking with pain. Now, it also comes with potential consequences for the parent: psychological impact, heightened anxiety, stress, and you're constantly in survival mode. I can't tell you how often we speak to parents who are in tears because they have been suffering with their unsettled baby and no one has listened, no one has offered them the right help, and here we are in survival mode and not enjoying being a parent. Now, this was the case for this patient of ours or client of ours, and her story is actually shared live on YouTube. So this is Liam's mom, and she had gone around in circles, and she actually ended up doing her own research. She went on YouTube and Instagram, just like you probably have done, and she found us and we had a conversation. But by that time, her little boy was suffering. You saw the picture at the beginning. He was covered in eczema and he was refluxy and he was vomiting and he was just not a happy baby. And she was going around in circles. She even ended up in hospital with her little boy. And even that didn't solve the problem. So she did her own research and she finally found us. But it was a shame that it had to take her so long and that she had to be the one initiating all this, when in fact it really should be more straightforward for the parent rather than all this stress and anxiety. So Emej's story with baby Liam is on YouTube and you can listen to it, but it's fascinating because she talks about how she was going around in this circle, no one was helping her, and she was part of our signature Unsettled baby plan, which we will talk about later. If your baby is not settled and it has been more than 4 weeks, then you are not following the right plan. I always say, and I can confidently say this, that you must see positive results in your baby. 4 weeks or less, max, whether you're formula feeding your baby or if you are breastfeeding your baby. If your baby is still unsettled, you are not following the right plan. And that was the case for Liam's mom. Liam was, I think it was 16 weeks when we started working with him, and it had been pain from the beginning. No, 4 weeks or less is the maximum time that you should be seeing your allergy baby in distress. If it goes beyond that, then you are definitely in a trap. Trap number 2, DIY diet changes that backfire. So eliminating foods without expert guidance, leading to confusion and unnecessary restrictions. Now here, obviously, I'm relating to the breastfeeding mom, but also the mom that might have started weaning her baby. And this is the case for one of our clients here as well. She's a mother of 2, and her youngest has multiple food allergies. And she was so scared to feed her baby, but she actually ended up eliminating lots of different foods that she didn't have to eliminate. And it ended up that she got so confused and so stressed that she reached out for help and advice. And she was actually also told that your baby doesn't have an allergy because most of the allergies were non-IgE in nature, which means you cannot test for it the traditional way. And I'll talk to you all about that in just a moment. But she was just, again, going around in circles and trying to do everything herself, but not getting anywhere. And this is a very common trap that we see for our parents. Let me know in the comments which trap you are currently in. We have got another trap coming, and I think this one is probably the most common one that we see, and that is formula roulette. Now tell me, please, who is currently switching formula repeatedly, one after the other? Your baby's still not settled. You are just pulling your hair out because what is going on? Why is your baby constantly changing? Why is everyone changing your baby's formula? But do they actually know what they're doing, or they're just changing it? There is an art to changing formula. Now, this client of ours, she had changed the formula 8 times. And she'd worked with different professionals 8 times. I think this is the record amount that I've ever seen. And again, her story is live on YouTube. And Rachel was just like, what is going on? Why is no one able to actually put my baby on the correct formula? And what is going on with my baby? It turned out her baby had an allergy to cow's milk protein. And it also turned out that they had completely missed the bigger picture. The right formula was never prescribed from the beginning. So mom was going around in circles, changing formulas all the time, and really stressed out with the situation. So is anyone currently in trap number 1, 2, or 3? Or maybe all? Hopefully not. Let me know in the comments. Now let's go back to baby Liam, our sweet case study, and I want to talk you through step by step so you can see what happened, so you can get an idea of what is the procedure or the framework when you have an allergy baby. Probe. This is our 3P framework, by the way. So we go through a very precise structure to make sure that we are getting solutions fast. Because what we want to do is settle your baby in 4 weeks or less. That's the aim. Probe. This is the assessment phase. So what was going on with baby Liam? Well, a comprehensive look at his symptoms. By the way, when mom contacted me, I think it was a Tuesday or something like that. She found us on YouTube and she started recording all of baby Liam's symptoms on our app, and it was very clear that he was on the wrong formula, and I just thought, okay, we need to do something now, because if we are going to have to wait till the following week when her first appointment was, then baby Liam was going to struggle even more. So a comprehensive look at his symptoms during the probe phase, it was very clear that because multiple systems were affected, the skin, his tummy, his breathing, he was very congested. This is when a child's symptoms affect multiple systems, then this is most likely going to suggest that your baby has an allergy to cow's milk protein. Okay, so he was ticking all those boxes and he wasn't feeding well. And this is where it gets really complicated. He wasn't feeding well and he was unsettled. So we had to take drastic action. So this probe assessment phase can take a week, 2 weeks, but for some of our children who are really struggling, it takes a few days, 2 days, 3 days max, where we see, okay, we see what's going on here, and now we know what we need to do to move forward. Because the symptoms of cow's milk allergy, and let me know, I would love to know what your baby's symptoms are. That would be really nice to know as well. So we've got some pictures here because this is a very key point that I want you all to remember. If your baby has symptoms that affect multiple systems, so the breathing, the tummy, the skin, then this is most likely, I say most likely because in medicine, you can't say 100% sure, going to suggest that it could be an allergy to cow's milk protein. It could also suggest an allergy to something else. Okay, not just cow's milk protein. So if a baby has reflux, vomiting, eczema, and colic, those are multiple systems, the bowels and the skin. If your baby is constantly congested and wheezing and coughing and has colic, multiple systems. They may not have eczema, but still multiple systems. Think cow's milk protein allergy. That was the case for Liam. In fact, he had all 3 systems affected, and yet it wasn't managed properly. I was actually baffled because we specialize in cow's milk allergy, so we see the problem straight away. But it just makes me really sad that he had to go through 60, I think it was 15 or 16 weeks of his life suffering. So after the assessment phase comes the pinpoint phase. This is very important. We need to diagnose. We need to see what is the root cause of Liam's symptoms. Now, obviously, we suspected cow's milk protein allergy. We prescribed the correct formula, and that's based on his symptoms. A lot of parents go, what's the best formula? And I say, I don't know. It depends on your child. There is no generic advice. It really depends on the baby. So this was posted. We posted the formula to mom, and she received that within 48 hours. And then she tried baby Liam on this new formula. And within 7 days, his symptoms were clearing up. So I said to mom, okay, he's starting to feel better. So now we can diagnose cow's milk protein allergy, which I will teach you all how to do. This diagnostic challenge confirmed that it was cow's milk allergy. So therefore, we prescribed the formula on prescription, and we could continue with treatment. So that was the cause. The cause was cow's milk allergy. But you see, you can only diagnose cow's milk allergy when the baby is better. Prepare. Now, this is the last part of the 3P framework. This is fine-tuning and next steps. Because the thing is, when you prescribe a new formula, or if mom is breastfeeding and you have eliminated certain foods and then started to put them back into the diet, there's always fine-tuning. Things happen. Babies are complicated. There's always something that pops up. So we are there with you all the way through. And we were with baby Liam. You can see here, he was thriving on his new formula. But then after careful monitoring and obviously bespoke support to introduce food allergens as well, it turned out he also had an egg allergy. So we supported mom with that as well. And then we prepared for the milk ladder. So step 1, settle the baby. Step 2, find the cause. Step 3, prepare for everything that comes next. Because when you have an allergy baby, once you've settled them, then there is a lot more work to be done. So we see so many success stories like Liam in our clinic every week. I am super proud of the work we do because so much work goes into it. And having parents come online and share their story live, I think is very humbling. I always thank our clients for doing that because I really want parents to know that you do not have to suffer. You do not have to struggle. There is a solution, and that's to everything. I'm a solution-focused person. So the question is, why is it taking so long for people to get their baby sorted? How do you actually diagnose cow's milk allergy? Now, let me just say this again. This presentation or this masterclass is revolutionary because this is what we teach to GPs all the time. And that is because obviously GPs, they see children like your babies like yours, and they may not have had the right training to support an allergy baby. So dietitians will educate GPs on how to diagnose a baby with cow's milk allergy. So being here with you all to tell you this is, yeah, I'm really happy to be here because I think it will help so many of you. So we've tried to make it very simple, but also I need to make it very clear to you all that obviously you are not healthcare professionals. So I just need to make you aware that this is for information purposes only. And it does not replace the professional or the medical advice that you've had from your own doctor or your own dietitian. And always consult a healthcare professional. Please do not play doctor and dietitian. We see that a lot as well. Always make sure you consult a doctor or a dietitian along this journey. Now, how not to diagnose cow's milk allergy is very simple. You cannot do blood test. You cannot do skin prick test in a baby with non-IgE cow's milk allergy. The reason for that is because it's a delayed type of allergy. So you will be wasting your time. We see a lot of parents who've done what's it called? I can't remember the test now, but there's this online test that you buy. And I have talked extensively about it on TikTok, and I don't remember the name now. But these online tests are a waste of time. They do not prove that your baby has an allergy or not. And skin prick testing only if your baby is showing immediate signs of an allergy. And we won't go into the different types of allergies today, but I just want you to be aware that blood test and skin prick test, no. But the way to do it in a breastfed baby is the following way. So are you all ready? Let me know in the comments if you're ready. Anyone breastfeeding their baby? So the route to diagnosis for a breastfed baby. First, clinical history. Now, what do you guys think is key here? So let's play doctors, everyone. So obviously, as a clinician, I would look at the clinical history in detail. So going back to the 3P framework, that's the first phase, the assessment phase, the probe phase. We are looking, what is going on here? Are they having multiple systems that are affected? And if so, okay, what is mom's diet like? Mom is having a lot of dairy products. So you see, there is a 3-step route to diagnosis. I've tried to make it very simple for you all. Clinical history. Does your baby have multiple systems affected or not? Elimination diet. Now, the guidelines suggest that if your baby has multiple systems that are affected, so let's say our latest client that we actually signed up today, breastfed baby with eczema. We have so many eczema babies. She has eczema and colic, and she's quite wheezy, but she has no issues with her tummy. Do you think that we would still suspect cow's milk allergy? Yes, because she still has multiple systems affected. She has her respiratory system affected and her skin, right? So elimination diet it is. It's going to be a dairy-free diet moving forward for this mom. Because that is really the essential part of the first step of route to diagnosis. Is first you look at the symptoms and then you go dairy-free. How long? Most likely 2 to 4 weeks. So let me know if anyone has done that. I'll be very keen to know. But the thing is, and we see this with a lot of clients, is that they eliminate dairy, then they eliminate soya because soya and dairy allergy go hand in hand often. But then symptoms aren't improving, so they're eliminating tons of other foods from their child's diet. And then they end up on a very simple, basic, boring diet, putting themselves at risk and their baby. So be very careful. When you eliminate, at some point you have to reintroduce to confirm the diagnosis. So if you're breastfeeding your baby at the moment and you have eliminated dairy for 6 weeks and your baby's symptoms haven't improved, then you need to start adding it back in. In fact, you need to do the diagnostic challenge anyhow. So when your baby is better, you've gone dairy-free, let's say it's 2 weeks in, your baby's symptoms are clearing up, then you need to have some dairy to confirm that your baby is reacting or not. But because we're dealing with a non-IgE food allergy, don't expect immediate reactions. Sometimes it could be a day after, or maybe 2 days after. It makes it very difficult, which is why I would advise you to keep a food and symptom diary. I'm sure you've all heard that before, but keep a log of everything you're eating, what day you stop the dairy, and when your baby's symptoms are better, then put the dairy back into the diet. I can see questions are coming through.
Do you try again?
Oh, my Siri is talking to me. So make sure that you're not just eliminating. At some point, you actually have to confirm the diagnosis. And the only way to do that is to drink a glass of milk or have a cheese sandwich or whatever might be your preferred option. So that's how you diagnose a baby that's breastfed with cow's milk protein allergy. But from my experience, it's never just one. Sometimes it's multiple food allergies that we see. And the same thing applies. You have to eliminate and then put it back into the diet to confirm the diagnosis. But be careful. Don't do this without medical supervision because you're putting yourself at risk of nutritional deficiencies. So if the child reacts after dairy has been reintroduced to the mother's diet, this confirms cow's milk protein allergy. If no reaction, then explore other diagnoses. Could it be something else that you're having? Could it be another non-IgE food allergy? It's not just dairy. There are lots of other non-IgE food allergies. Formula-fed baby. It's the same process, but a little bit different, obviously. Again, we look at your child's clinical history. And if multiple systems are affected, we think cow's milk allergy. Then we have to eliminate the formula that they are on, because obviously formula is made from cow's milk protein. And can you see that I've underscored the correct? The reason for that is because too often we see that parents try a new formula, but it's not the correct formula. So it's 5 different formulas, 8 different formulas. The baby's still not better, and they're just like, doing that formula roulette. You cannot continue that cycle. Your baby needs to be on the right formula from the start, so you can do the cow's milk protein allergy challenge as soon as possible to confirm the diagnosis or not. So let's say your baby gets the right formula from the beginning, then their symptoms start to improve, just like baby Liam. By day 7, his symptoms were better. Then we start to reintroduce cow's milk formula back into the diet. Now, you might ask me, how do we do that? We have strict guidelines that we follow, and your doctor or your dietitian will also know those guidelines. It's basically adding cow's milk formula back into your child's diet. So let's say they are on a specialized formula, doesn't matter which one, and their symptoms are better. They're doing great, fine. But you're not sure, is it cow's milk protein allergy or not? Well, then you go back to the formula that they were on, a standard cow's milk based formula, and then you start to add that back into the diet step by step. Now, your clinician will advise you how much to start with. For some people, I say start small. For some people, I say start with a larger amount. So this is very much based on the child. But the main thing you need to know here is that you cannot diagnose your baby with cow's milk protein allergy until they're better. And unfortunately, too many people are stuck here, eliminating cow's milk formula, but not being on the right formula. So like weeks and months go by and it's just like that vicious cycle. So they never get to move to this stage, right? And that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that within 4 weeks at least, 4 to 6 weeks, that you at least know, does your baby have cow's milk protein allergy or not? So if the child reacts to any amount of cow's milk formula, then that confirms cow's milk allergy. So this is how we test. We take it out, we wait for symptoms to improve, and then we put it back into the diet. And it might sound very simple, but actually there is a lot of work that goes into it because it's daily monitoring, being aware how much they had. And because it's a non-IgE allergy, sometimes it may not be clear if it's a reaction or not. And I always say to parents, if you are not sure if there is a reaction or not, that means that we continue. Because you need to be sure that there is a reaction before you stop. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. So let's recap. The top 3 traps keeping you stuck with an unsettled baby and what to do instead. How to diagnose a baby with a milk allergy, breastfed or formula fed. And then fast track your baby's diagnosis and settle their discomfort, our 3P framework. So we went through how that works and what's being done at each step. And then I've given you a brief story of real life patients or parents who've got results fast. And as I said, their stories are live on YouTube. So at this point, you have 2 choices. You can take what you've learned and continue to do it on your own, or you can help us guide you and support you every step of the way. So are you here because you're tired of the back and forth and not being listened to? Please let me know in the comments. I would love to know. Please let me know. Is that a yes? Do you have an unsettled baby and just want to finally see them thrive? I hope that's a yes, because I like to see all babies thrive, especially allergy babies. Have you tried figuring out alone only to feel like nothing is working? Oh, the amount of stories we hear of parents, not being listened to, and it's been like weeks, months, and it doesn't have to be like that. It really does not. So do you want to finally wave goodbye to an unsettled and unhappy baby? Or is that what people want? I'm curious. If I exit the screen, then it's probably going to take a while to go back. So I'll look at all your questions after, and I'm so excited. So, and also, another thing is like, I had a patient a few weeks ago, child was losing a lot of weight, eczema, so horrendous eczema, but most importantly, losing a lot of weight. And they were still waiting for their NHS appointment. But then finally they were like, okay, we need to do something. So they came to see us. But these long waiting times and unnecessary back and forth and unnecessary stress that you're causing your baby and yourself, who is ready to like say goodbye to that? Let me know in the comments, because it shouldn't be like that. And this mom, she said she felt really guilty. And I said, it's not your fault. You obviously don't know what you need to do, isn't it? Like maybe you are trusting that magically an appointment comes to you within 3 days of your baby feeling unwell. I don't know. But the waiting lists are so long, and it can really put a lot of pressure on the baby and the parent, and it can cause horrendous, it has consequences for your baby. And we see that all the time. I am so excited to introduce you to our Settle Baby Plan. I think we have some people who are part of the Settle Baby Plan here today. They are some of our new joiners. This has been a game changer, and I'm very proud to say that it is a 5-star rated program by Nishti's Choice. It is revolutionary, And I would love to just show you why that is. First of all, the benefits of the Settle Baby Plan, which we launched last year. And since then, it has just been the most popular signature package we've ever had. Now, with this plan, you are never alone, okay? Because we are there every step of the way. You have peace of mind knowing that someone's there with you because you have us on an app, which I'll explain a lot more in just a moment. You're literally never alone. You don't have to worry about picking up the phone and, phoning this person and that person because your baby's unsettled, staying up all night, Googling. And no, we are there. We support you. So you have peace of mind. And this real-time support, I think, is a game changer. Because at the other side of the phone, you actually have someone who knows your baby's story and knows how to help you. Because you have access to your own private pediatric allergy dietitian. And at the moment, there is 2 of us now in the team, which I'm excited about. And you get clarity. You have a plan. We tell you A, B, C, D. We basically tell you what's going to happen so you don't have to worry and there's no uncertainty. And you can finally have time to enjoy parenthood. So I think all these benefits is key because I see parents who feel alone, who feel isolated, who don't have peace of mind, who are in survival mode, who are frustrated. No, we do not want that. We want you to enjoy having a baby. So what is it that you get? Now, I hope you're all ready for this, okay? Because there is so much that you get, okay? This is like, I believe in first-class service. So everything you see now is part of this first-class service. Personalized plan for you and your baby. So looking at each child as an individual, we don't give any blanket advice and we collaborate with you. But generic advice does not work. It has to be individualized to your baby and their needs and your needs. You get 3 one-to-one bespoke sessions as well. These are video sessions because obviously we want to make sure that we do our proper assessment as part of the 3P framework. And there will be other things along the way. So for example, with baby Liam, it was then after he was settled, then it was introducing food allergens. So then we booked a session to discuss that. So 3 one-to-one bespoke sessions. So no need to leave your home, obviously, because everything's online. And then you get day-to-day contact with your dietitian via a dedicated app. Game changer, because you do not have to pick up the phone and emails. No, everything's in one place. We love it. Our parents love it. Simple, no faff. So this is also an opportunity for you to ask questions, but most importantly, you have us in your pocket and we monitor how your baby's progressing day by day to make sure that we are on track to settle your baby in 4 weeks or less. So you get daily communication, we monitor baby's progress, there's no need for endless emails and prompt replies, unlimited support and advice from a specialist allergy dietitian. Real-time symptom tracking. Now, this is a game changer because you do not need to worry. Okay, you can step back, you can be the parent. All you need to do is document, and then your dietitian will go, we need to do this because I've seen that. Does that make sense? So real-time symptom tracking just delays all that back and forth and going around in circles. No, we see what's going on, we solve the problem immediately. So you are reassured that your baby is closely monitored, and this allows us to devise the perfect plan for your baby, whether they're breastfed or formula fed. You also get lots of bonuses, okay? Because as I said, it has to be first class because you've already been through so much. So I really want parents to feel so relaxed and so reassured when they are working with us. So you get with the Settle Baby Plan, you get 1 to 2 week monitoring period as well. Now, the reason for that, and this is worth £450. The reason for that is because we are so busy. So the monitoring period actually starts before your initial assessment with the dietitian. And that's because we can reduce your baby's time in distress this way as well. Plus, there is no waiting time. So you actually have a dietitian even before your initial assessment. This monitoring period allows us to take people on and reduce their baby's distress even before their initial assessment with the dietitian. You get specialized formula samples sent to your door, and this is worth £80 at least. We pick the best formula, and it's delivered to your door within 48 hours, 3 working days. And it's the UK only. I know there are a few US patients. For our US patients, we still recommend the best formula, but obviously we cannot do samples to the US. We also have patients in the UAE, and with this, it's the same thing. Across the world, we will always recommend the best formula for your baby. Prescription letter to your GP for UK patients only, because we have obviously the NHS. So you get a prescription. Once we know that your baby is settled on their formula, you get a prescription so they can continue on it until at least age 1, maybe longer if they have multiple food allergies. Then you get support with introducing food allergens. Okay, this is a game changer. And the reason why we do that, and this is at least worth more than £500, we help you introduce food allergens because it was a common question that we would get from parents. Their baby's settled, they're on the right formula, or if they're breastfed, mom is breastfeeding and everything's great and she's having a healthy diet. By the way, if you're breastfeeding, we will also check your diet. I always check the mother's diet to make sure you are meeting your nutritional requirements as well. But we also need to introduce food allergens. And this is a big stress for a lot of parents. Let me know in the comments if anyone feels stressed about food allergens. So we also help you to introduce at least egg and peanut butter, which are the 2 major food allergens. As per guidelines, they need to be introduced as early as possible, especially in children with eczema. And then we have the milk ladder ebook, because as part of the Settle Baby Plan, we really want to help you. We want to prepare you, because it's not just settling a baby. Then there is food allergens. Then there is adding milk back into the diet. Now, the milk ladder, you get the milk ladder ebook, but you also get a personalized plan for how to start your baby on the milk ladder. So you see, you are looked after all the way through the Settle Baby Plan. And then product recommendations. We have up-to-date product lists. This is so popular. Parents love it. Obviously, I am very particular about what products I recommend our patients. We only provide a list of the top best foods for children. So that you get as well as part of the Settle Baby Plan. Now, what's the investment for the Settle Baby Plan? If we were to sell everything separately, it would be at least above £2,300. But we're not going to charge that today. We're not even going to charge half of that. What we do charge is $997, or in US dollars, 1262. And this includes all the bonuses as well. And just a reminder, you can also pay in installments if that works better. The bonuses are definitely worth more than £1,300. So you are really getting a significant great offer with the Settle Baby Plan. And most importantly, you get a Settle Baby. But I know what you might be thinking, because I speak to parents like you every day. And at this point, you might be thinking, oh, but how is this different to everything else I've tried? Or will this work for my baby? And how do I know that it's the right choice? And should I just wait for my NHS appointment? Well, I really want to just say to you all listening that what makes Nishi's Choice different is this very personalized approach. You have a plan for your baby, okay? Like, you have a dietitian for your baby. You have hands-on support for your baby. So you're not alone. And we make time for you. And the reason for that is because we promise you a settled baby in 4 weeks or less. So we have to, that's our aim. So we have to work towards that. And our countless videos, testimonials on Trustpilot or YouTube, wherever you want to look, show you exactly that that's what we achieve. So No, we are not like everyone else. The reason why we are not like everyone else is because we are hands-on. This daily support is what sets us apart. And it also shows our dedication to make sure we settle your baby as soon as possible. Please check our reviews. If anyone is unsure or have questions, check the reviews for the Settle Baby Plan. I promise you, you will be like, it will blow your mind. We have genuine, lovely reviews, and I'm just, I'm really grateful and humble that people are loving it, and that's what we want. We want a plan that works, and we have. The Settle Baby Plan has been so popular for the last year since we launched it. You may also be thinking, oh, it sounds really complicated. I don't have time. Well, actually, we will take all that time that you've been spending going back and forth to your doctor and multiple professionals, and we will take all that off you and we will handle it. I always say to parents, give me everything. You just be the parent and we'll sort things for you. So instead of spending weeks or months trying to figure it out, you have a clear roadmap. You get answers fast. There is certainty and there is no stress and there is no overwhelming steps. It's just step by step. The 3P framework will guide you so you don't waste any more time having an unsettled baby. Is it really worth the investment? The real question is, can you afford to keep waiting, trying random solutions and hoping for the best? An unsettled baby is not going to benefit your baby or yourself. And as a pediatric dietitian, my job is to encourage parents to take action, to make sure that they're not prolonging their baby in distress, to get this solved as soon as possible because of the potential consequences. So yes, I do believe it's a fantastic investment for those that want to settle their baby fast and have a healthy and happy baby. So to lock this price and secure your spot, click the link in the chat and it will take you to a page where you can book an application call with me. I cannot wait to talk to you. This is an application call and it's to see if you are a fit for the Settle Baby Plan, because I want to make sure that we can help you. And therefore we provide an application call where we have an informal chat to see if you are a right fit. Now for the month of March, only 8 spots, because it's a lot of work. And at the moment, there's just 2 of us in the team, 2 dietitians. So 8 spaces for the month of March. So to secure your spot, make sure that you book a space. I think my colleague Spella is going to post a link in the chat. And if you have any questions, let me know. Let's do a Q&A. Click the link in the chat to apply, and I cannot wait to help you achieve a settled baby. I'm so confident to say this because this is what we do every day, all day long. Thank you so much for attending.